view of West Palm Beach. I don't know, not my favorite view of the buildings there. I should be appreciative, I guess, but I like the beaches. Beaches or buildings? You tell us, get in the chat. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to American Sunrise. I am Dr. Gina, and we thank you for joining us. It is time now for today's health news, sponsored by the Wellness Company. And under the microscope today, HHS Secretary Bobby Kennedy Jr. announces the department is canceling mRNA vaccine development contracts. This comes as really good news to those of us who've been fighting for this for a long, long time. RFK says the COVID pandemic showed us that the jab does not work on viruses that attack the upper respiratory tract. So why the heck were we not told this prior to our government forcing it on us? Well, Kennedy added that HHS has determined that mRNA actually poses more risk than it benefits us for these viruses after reviewing them with top experts, real scientists, not the kind that we had with Fauci. The total dollar amount of canceled contracts come in at just under $500 million. Glad Secretary Kennedy is addressing it because nothing makes up for the more than 600,000 lives lost due mostly to the so-called vaccine, which is not a vaccine at all. In fact, not a vaccine at all, so don't ever call it vaccine. Heads should roll. Doctors, the AMA, the politicians, bureaucrats who enforced it, the American Hospital Association that covered it up, they should all be held accountable for this murderous plot for profit. The good news, though, it taught us vigilance and how to think critically and definitely caused the historic medical revolution we are experiencing as we speak. So congratulations to you, the patriots who stood strong against fake vaccines, forced masks, and other atrocities committed on America. You win. And I might or might not have a book coming out on this exact topic. A new administration in Washington, D.C. has brought a lot of positive changes when it comes to fixing, written, by the way, maybe with someone else that you know. Back to the Wellness Company, Reed. Here we go. We've come a long way when it comes to fixing our broken healthcare system. A lot of that attributable to you, the patriots. The reality, though, there's only so much government can do. And if we really want to make America healthy again, it's got to start at home. And that's where the Wellness Company comes in. You see and hear from our doctors at TWC all the time on this network. And you know their products are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. They give you the opportunity to make sure you are prepared for whatever happens with their series of prescription medical kits. These kits contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of the meds in the kits. Additionally, the Wellness Company offers a variety of products from parasite cleanses to methylene blue to weight loss drugs and so much more. These can help you stay healthy and live a longer and more satisfying life. Make America healthy again starts at home. Do your part, protect the health of yourself and your family. Go to twc.health/RAV. Today, give it an order. That's twc.health/RAV. Use the promo code RAV to save 10%. All right, David, 10%. I was researching this last night. We're putting the finishing touches, myself and someone else you know very well, writing this book. It will be called Mad Medicine. And I'm telling you what Rockefeller did and how he took his oil money and put it and decided everything needed to be chemical now and made everybody who believed in anything natural into crazy people. It's just, the story is, it reads like a novel.
Well, I'm looking forward. Seriously, I can't wait to read it. I'll say this on a separate note. We're going to our anniversary. Where is the tiara? I thought you were going to do a whole thing with the jewels.
You know listen, I was thinking maybe someone was. Kimberly, our booker, sent me sent me these beautiful flowers right there. It's really hard to point. It's a mirror image on the TV. But I don't have a tiara, but I've got the pretty flowers. You didn't send me a tiara, David. I could have a yellow Dixie cup looking
you can have the hat
too. Thanks.
You can have the hat. There you go.
Thanks.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
You got it. Hi. All right. Let's move on, shall we? I guess. Israel's, can I say Israel? Yeah, I can. Israel's Knesset, in essence, their Congress, approved a plan overnight to occupy parts of Gaza. Officials say they're going to take over Gaza City and stop short of a full occupation, at least for now. So that seems to conflict a bit with what Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had just said about Gaza when he talked to Fox News earlier. Have a look.
In order to assure our security, remove Hamas there, enable the population to be free of Gaza, and to pass it to civilian governance. That is not Hamas and not anyone advocating the destruction of Israel. That's what we want to do. We want to liberate ourselves and liberate the people of Gaza from the awful terror of Hamas. And you were in the Gaza Strip today. You met Palestinians who are fighting Hamas because finally they see that they have a future. They can rid themselves of this awful tyranny that not only holds our hostages, but holds 2 million Palestinians in Gaza hostage. That's got to end.
All right. For more, let's bring in the senior counsel for the Lawfare Project. That'd be Gerard Filitti. Gerard, good to see you. So, long term, Israel obviously doesn't want to fully run Gaza from the inside. That's not their goal here. So what best to do here? How do you see it? Good morning to you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. I think Israel is learning their lessons from America and our forever wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. They don't want to be an occupying power. They want to get rid of Hamas. Hamas is what's been keeping Gazans under military rule, under terrorist rule since 2007. So think about that. 20 years these people have been suffering, and at the same time launching terrorist attacks against Israel. So the only way to eradicate Hamas is to take control of Gaza, make sure that you eliminate this terrorist group and the other terrorist groups that are being funded by Iran from Gaza in order to have that civil government, in order to be able to restore a civil society. You first need to eradicate the evil. And I think that's why Netanyahu's now finally going into Gaza City and taking full control. They realized that doing it piecemeal was only dragging Israel into longer and longer conflict, and they need to finish it once and for all.
Yeah, and you know what's coming now, right? I mean, regarding Gaza City, they're going to have to, pretty much get folks out of that city and displace more people, if you will. And then the international community is going to say, see, the humanitarian situation is getting far worse. You know that's coming. Hey, by the way, the U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., Janine Pirro, says there's a massive anti-Semitism problem in the country. Really? Yeah, maybe there's a problem here. So she's vowing to aggressively prosecute these cases. And of course, it comes after Elias Rodriguez was charged with 9 counts, including 2, Gerard. These were hate crimes resulting in death in connection to the killing of those 2 Israeli embassy staffers. So here's what she had to say. Take a look.
We have a problem with anti-Semitism in this country, and the statistics bear that out. And I think now more than ever, we are seeing increased numbers. So what does that mean? What it means, if you can get from, my tone, we're going to be very aggressive. You heard from the FBI, the MPD. We're going to look for these cases. We're going to prosecute these cases to the full force of the law. It's a problem, and we're not going to tolerate it. Anti-Semitism has historically been one of the biggest scabs in the world that keeps getting picked on and picked at. So from my perspective, I will go forward with every case with vengeance.
So, Gerard, I'm wondering what sort of real effect can take place here from a legal perspective. What is she talking about? What can be done?
What can be done is what she's saying she will do, which is vigorously prosecute hate crimes targeting the Jewish people. We see attacks, we see physical attacks. What we're seeing are not just peaceful protests. We're seeing violent attacks. We're seeing the deprivation of civil rights when Jews are being blocked from attending synagogue or from going into classes to study as students. These are crimes, not to mention physical. We had a firebombing in Denver that was targeting Jewish people. I had clients in DePaul University in Chicago who were physically attacked for being Jewish. In New York City, I've worked with victims of hate crime, and not all these cases are being taken seriously by progressive DAs. They're slow walking them, they're charging misdemeanors instead of felony attacks, and they're not charging them as hate crimes even when they're motivated by anti-Semitic animus. So it's good that the federal government is finally stepping in after 4 years of doing nothing under Joe Biden and charging under federal hate crime statutes to impose consequences and deter future attacks.
Yeah, I mean, the liberals talk up the yin-yang about hate crimes when it comes to the LGBT community. And then on this, silence. Gerard Filitti, great to have you, as always. Appreciate you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
All right, coming up, Superman himself, Dean Cain, says he is joining ICE. Not fake news. We'll explain and hear from him next on American Sunrise.